Picture this. You step into a foreign country, Iran for example. You have a business trip. You're there for a business trip, and while there, you're in a meeting. Everything's going well, so you give an enthusiastic thumbs up, thinking, hey, just trying to say good job. However, in Iran, this is the same as flipping someone the bird in America. Now you've greatly offended everyone in the room and ruined your business trip. I want to make sure something like this does not happen during your time in Sweden. Hi, my name is Larson, and I'll be talking to you about Swedish culture. Not being culturally competent can cost you a client or a huge business deal. After taking many business courses in college and extensive research on the Swedish culture, I feel I'm the best intern to prepare you for your business trip. I am here today to make sure you are culturally competent enough to successfully conduct business with Sweden and expand the business globally. I will review with you Sweden's culture, customs, and proper etiquette while conducting business. My goal is to have you leaving the room prepared to conduct business respectfully and successfully. To begin, I like to review the country's religion, language, and educational background. Sweden is a secular country as of the year 2000. That means that Sweden has separated from the church. The Church of Sweden is of Lutheran faith. Like I said, they separated in 2000. Only 64% of the Swedish population are members of the Swedish Church. This number is gradually decreasing due to the separation. Sweden is also the only Nordic country in the region that is secular like this. The cultural acceptance for Sweden, actually Sweden ranks the top 6th in the world for this. As you can see in the graph, they are the red line. The cultural acceptance tolerance is very good for us as we try to expand our business globally, as they will be more open-minded to our offers. Education in Sweden is slightly different than the United States. Sweden is a country that values education and thinking independently. From a young age, Swedish children learn the importance of concepts such as interdependence, gender equality, and loving nature. There are even outdoor preschools, which learning takes place exclusively outside. University education is the most distinct difference between Sweden and the United States. Sweden strives to be one of the world's most innovative and research-intensive countries in the world. Around 3.5% of their GDP goes towards research and development, which is one of the highest rates in the world. Also, taxes fully subsidize universities in Sweden, so students do not have to pay for education. Though most Swedish people can speak English, knowing their language is of huge importance. Of non-native speakers, Swedes have one of the highest levels of fluency in English, especially in conversation. When you speak with a potential new business partner in their native tongue, it shows a lot of respect. You communicate on their terms instead of them trying to understand you, and vice versa. Speaking their language, they will be more receptive to doing business with you. Now we have discussed a background of Swedish religion, language, and education to better understand the Swedish culture. Now we will need to discuss more in depth around the Swedish culture so we do not offend them with our Western culture mannerisms. We are going to review a few of Hofstede's cultural dimensions in Swedish culture. I'm going to discuss with you the specific dimensions of individualism, power distance, and femininity. Sweden is a highly individualistic society. Swedish people will look after themselves and their family only. Sweden is low on the power distance Hofstede scale. High power distance means that every person in society is not equal and there are inequalities. A low power distance means a small power distance is that they're more independent and have more equal rights. while micromanaging is highly disliked. The country of Sweden scores low in this dimension at 31 according to my research. Sweden has a more feminine than masculine cultural approach. Femininity is described as loving what you do and caring for others. The fundamental issue here is what motivates people: wanting to be the best, which is masculine, or loving what you do, feminine. My research showed Sweden as having a score of 5 in this dimension on a Hofstede scale. Sweden highly values work and life balance as well as supportive management styles, which are feminine styles. This information is essential as we look to expand our business globally because the United States is more of a masculine country. With Sweden, when deciding to conduct business, it is highly crucial that we remember the value of the work-life balance and over success being the best in the industry. To review, Sweden is an individualistic society with a low power distance and a more feminine cultural approach. Now that we have some in-depth background knowledge on Swedish culture, we need to discuss the specifics of conducting business in Sweden. I will now discuss the do's and don'ts for conducting business in Sweden. First, the business attire and body language you should expect to adhere to. The Swedish business clothing is conservative but comfortable and relaxed, meaning you can wear sandals and tennis shoes, but conservative, so wear long pants and maybe a collared shirt. Body language for Swedish culture is reserved, so public displays of attention, hugging, and touching are not in the general trend. It is critical to maintain eye contact while talking with someone and introduce yourself to everyone you meet with a handshake. The Swedish people are very punctual. It's quite common that the Swedish employees arrive on time and leave on time, and they have a FICA on set times. FICA is another word for a break. Be prepared to start a meeting on time and have scheduled coffee breaks throughout, and respect the culture of work and life balance the Swedish have by ending the session at the time you have stated. When going to dinner with Swedish people, remember they value this time for socializing and bonding. The Swedish people do not work overtime or mix business outside of the work hours unless it's absolutely necessary. Sweden is very laid back in business because they value equality. Everyone is on a first name basis. Once introduced, there is no need for titles of superiority in the casual atmosphere. Knowing a few Swedish terms is respectful. One word that we've already talked about is FICA, which is just another word for break. Often they just drink coffee and chat during this time. When conducting business, you do not need to be fluent in Swedish. However, understanding a few keywords will help go a long way in your business deals. We have now concluded discussion on appropriate business culture in Sweden. We have covered the topics of language, attire, body language, and punctuality. Now that you have an overview of Swedish culture, I'm confident that you will be able to close the business deal successfully. To conclude this presentation, I want to say thank you for your time. My hope is that you are now armed with a bit more knowledge about the Swedish culture in order to conduct business successfully. We reviewed basic business etiquette, important cultural differences, and lifestyle factors. Remember to maintain eye contact, introduce yourself with a handshake, be punctual, and keep business and pleasure separate while you're in Sweden. Also, if you happen to see Alexander Skarsgård, be sure to snag an autograph for me. Thank you, and safe travels. Also, here are my note cards I have. Thank you.